Ready, yes.
All right, so welcome everybody. This is our third sprint of the Digital Academy Spring Session, and that was taking place during the month of April. We did a user experience sprint for a company called Rangam, and we have representatives from Rangam here to listen to the presentation. So the challenge for our students is the following. Rangam asked us to explore the concept of user experience, design and user testing for them, their client. They worked in teams, they used the design thinking process, and our students looked at the experience that Rangam has designed for their users to register for their site. The site is called SourceAbled. The students experienced being the user, they developed feedback, and they created ideas to improve the process. So like the other two sprints this spring, we framed our work in a design thinking framework. And this visual is what the students have been exposed to for all three sprints. And especially during this last one, we were looking at this as how do we go about solving a problem, or how do we address an issue? So first we need to find out about the problem. We need to understand it. So then we put some bubbles around the different steps to show what are the steps in this particular sprint that we did related to design thinking. So we looked at user experience. We brought in experts to tell us what is user experience. Then we talked about our own thinking around employment or getting a job, or what it feels like, so that we could have empathy for a person signing up to be a job seeker. Then we engaged in user testing, which was really fun. The students really liked that. Lots of thinking around that and great comments, which you'll get to see in this presentation. We worked together to teamwork, do some brainstorming and thinking about what kind of solutions we would offer Rangam in the area to improve their site. Then they made up wireframes, or they wrote copy, or they just made visuals to help show what their ideas were. And this is our test, giving a presentation. So this is our very huge and extremely confusing mural. So you won't have to look at this, but it is an example. Every Post-it note that you see in there is a Post-it note that a student put in. They worked together in teams, and it was pretty neat to see them create and ideate around a user experience.
So the biggest part and the main thing of this project was to do user testing as the users. Our students were the users for this user testing, and then they also were the user experience designers at the same time. So they're kind of wearing two hats at the same time. And we did our user testing in three different ways. First, we had our students go through a user test in their groups. So one of the students was one of the participants was the user, and they shared their screen while there was a moderator who was asking questions and giving them tasks to complete on the site. And then the rest of the team were the observers, and they were filling out a survey like this, taking notes of what was happening as they were observing their peer go through as the user. They were also not just watching what they did, but they were watching to see, was the user showing signs of frustration? What were they saying? What were they thinking? What were they doing? What was their face saying as well? And so they were looking for if at any point, did they get frustrated? Were they confused? Did they know easily how to observe and how to go through the tests that they were being given? And so they used that, and then we compiled that data into our mural. Then each participant went through the SourceAbled site and had a different set of tasks to complete. And then they filled out a survey. And so what you're seeing here is a lot of the feedback that was compiled from our users, from the group, about what were the first impressions of the SourceAbled site. And it was really great, right? Overall, People liked a lot of what they saw. It felt welcoming. It was very colorful. It was reliable and well organized. Some of the students also, though, did have some difficulty finding out what it was. Some of them were a little confused and did not understand what the purpose was. But overall, we found our users had a positive experience. And for our clients, Rangam, you guys will have access to this. So you'll be able to get all of this feedback and see the mural as well in detail later. So we won't go into everything on this presentation, but overall, first impressions were really positive. Then we asked the users, what does SourceAbled do? What is the purpose of this site? And as you can see, a lot of the users were able to give a pretty accurate answer from the information on the homepage, as well as they had the benefit of Gerald's presentation the week before. So they got a little bit of a preview of the site. And so they were able to really pretty well capture what it is that SourceAbled is all about. We then asked them a lot of questions about different things on the homepage. Did the homepage make them feel welcome? Overall, yes, it was overwhelmingly that people agreed with that. The homepage has too much information, a little bit more across the board, as we expect for all users, right? We have a spectrum of users, and some people might find it overwhelming. Overall, it was right there in the middle of, it was just about right. The design of the site lets me know the site is for people with autism. That was a little bit more spread out. How does somebody identify that? That's also a tough thing to portray, right? So we're not exactly sure. But the design of the site makes me feel that this is a trustworthy business, somebody that I feel confident giving my information to in the registration process. Very much agree there. We also asked the flipped question, right? So earlier we asked if the homepage has too much information. Sometimes when we're user testing, we ask the opposite of that question to see if there's a correlation. There's just enough information. And we see that those also correlate as well. We understand what the 4 roles of the page are. And overwhelmingly, people agreed that they did know. And people said that they knew which of the 4 roles they were on the site. So then we wanted to confirm that in another question. And as you can see, 65.2% of the participants, the users, were able to actually say, yes, I am a job seeker, which was the role that they were playing in this test. What do you like about the homepage? There is a lot of great information about the homepage, what was resonating well. Well, again, the friendly graphics, the modern and clean style, the design, the layout, the colors. When asked what would they like to change about the homepage, there was a lot of great information here that you guys can dig a little deeper into. One person from their experience would appreciate that the site had most of the jobs were located in New Jersey. So when they tried putting in their information from Milwaukee, it didn't come up with job searches. So that was a little confusing for one of our users. Someone would change it so that most of the people on the homepage had physical disabilities, so that the point gets across that SourceAbled's mission is to help people with disabilities. Some people would want to simplify the page a little bit, separating the history info into separate web pages. So a lot of great information here, but again, that overarching first impression was really positive and welcoming. Then as we dove into the registration process, most people did not feel that it was a confusing process. So most people disagreed that the registration was confusing. They had no problem getting through it. The registration process was overwhelming. Again, most people disagreed with that. The registration process was easy and I knew what to do. Most people agreed with that. Registration process was hard, but I figured it out, a little bit more neutral. And then I understand why I was asked to enter the information that was asked of me. Everybody agreed with that as well. We also asked if going over the registration in 3 sections versus 1 section, what was more preferred, and overwhelmingly, people agreed that breaking it up over 3 pages made it feel easy to fill out and did not overwhelm them. A few people really did wish that it was all on 1 page, but most of our users agreed that the 3 pages that you guys had already done, great job. When asked if there was anything that they were surprised that was not asked in the application, 2 of the things that really jumped out were any issues I might have with certain jobs, examples of noise and crowds and etc. So the accommodations section, people were surprised did not come up in the application registration, and that there wasn't any information about your interests and your skills, also about schools in the school district. So those types of things, what job seekers' interests are, what accommodations they might need. Some of the users were expecting that to be in that registration process. When we asked if the job, for overarching examples of how people felt on the site, and we have a lot of people feeling confident after going through the SourceAbled site, happy and excited about their opportunities of getting a job. And then a few people did feel nervous, confused, or overwhelmed by it, which we understand is also, you know, I know that for me, the job search is often a little bit nerve-wracking and overwhelming myself. So we would kind of expect that as well. Then finally, our third way of doing user testing was to do a focus group. And so as a large group, we looked at the account section. And when looking at the login, we found that it would be nice to have a single page for the login and not the extra stuff, was one of the users' feedback. And if they create an account, the filling out, having to select the job seeker, disability provider, and employer and university, somebody had recommended if we just had one login, since they've already created the account, that could be connected to their account and they wouldn't have to select again what user that they were. The My Profile section, people got a little confused that that was under the My Employment. Since they're looking for a job, they didn't necessarily feel that they had employment yet. And they would think to click on the name, so welcome Adam Clark, to get to My Profile instead of clicking under My Employment to find the profile. So that felt a little hidden to some of the users. And then finally, the accommodations section. The users overwhelmingly felt that this felt very buried in the My Employment to the then account and then having to find it in there. So they would not be able to find this on their own. Somebody said, I didn't know that this existed. Somebody said that there could be a news tab called About Me that maybe would have that information. And then also the recommendation again to put the accommodations into the registration. So a lot of thought, a lot of experiences gathered by all of our users. We then took all of this feedback and brainstormed solutions for this. And in our individual teams, we then broke off and came up with prototypes for the solutions to a lot of what was discussed in these user tests. So up first is Team Kevin, who will be sharing their solutions. Who from Team Kevin is presenting?
In 5, 4, 3, 2. Uh-oh, what? Am I the first one? All right, so our team solution. The problem we solved was simplification of the homepage. The solution we came up with was simplification of the page's design and color scheme. The possible benefits of our solution are the login process will likely be easier. Defining pictures that you may not understand will be less of a learning curve. Iconography helps free up space around the web page. It makes this website's purpose clearer from the moment it is open and can emphasize with employees and employers. Should I carry on? Redesign of homepage. So as you can see, things are looking much more differently and a little simpler, with a more muted color scheme. We worked to eliminate unnecessary clutter and language. We slightly tweaked, there were slight design modifications such as less or muted color, the mission statement, which is literally right in your face, and fewer chives, like what, the plant or the snippets, I don't know, at the outset. I thought I thought there was another one of my buddy things, but I'll just do it. Our one of our next solutions is that gathering additional information upon registration. The solution we came up with was new registration form with extra or additional questions. The benefit of our solution is, or benefits of our solution are, easier for potential employers to connect with viable employees, more engaging for the user, it kind of builds up a connection, and a broader set of data for enhancing searches.
For the expanded registration, we could make things more specific, like not only will we add the name, address, phone number, date of birth, email address, and password, we could add more optional material so they could be more descriptive, such as what their interests are, how their interests could benefit in this job, what their skills are, the accommodations they have, some special features they need to have when working so they could do the job better. Then the year of experience, their work history, and basically what else, other technology they could use when they work there efficiently during their job.
Thanks, Team Kevin. Good job. All right, next up is Team Zach.
Okay, so our team kind of worked on multiple different sub-elements, but the main goal that we were trying to help with was user experience and homepage enhancements. And the solutions we came up with were all minor updates to the website, but we'll go over them individually shortly. The benefits of our solutions are adding additional information to help users, making things a little bit more clear and easier to find on the website, giving people a chance to empathize and see themselves inside the graphics, and a logistical like menu toolbar flow. So mainly I focused on the UX element of navigation, and you can see that you have your current navigation system on the right side. And I created a quick table to kind of show this better, but you guys did a great job of indicating drop down menus well with the like upside down inverted caret sign. The text was easy to read and the tab titles delivered their purpose clearly. Some things that I worked on to help improve this a bit and enhance it with the drop down menus content. I tweaked it a little bit to enhance organization. So to the left right here is the basically an image that I just kind of created with Google Sites of possible navigation flow. And I noticed that the sections inside of the website were all about jobs, your profile and kind of like your stuff, registering, and about Rangam and SourceAbled themselves. So if you want to go to right now your login and register navigation has a lot of different kind of like sub tabs to it. And most of the people who are going to be using this site are going to be job seekers. So to me, it kind of made sense to enhance this by taking the job seekers and putting that up above like a menu level. and then having support providers who are like employers and universities, kind of like below that level. So the job seekers would have it easier to find what they're looking for. And also under the About section, there was a lot of different links on top of that. So, and some of the stuff, even like your own profile. So under My Stuff, I think it would make sense to have your profile and like the jobs you've saved and like your current resume you've uploaded to the site. And under About, you would have kind of like under one tab, your list of services and like what you guys are about and blogs and stuff. And then Contact Us would contain contact information. So kind of just like to neaten it up a bit. And that's it for me.
Thanks, Nathan.
Okay, so first off, something something I really like about the setup of this homepage is that all the colors that are in this homepage give it give it kind of a welcoming look to it. And I also like that they're right there, that each thing that you can click on is right in front of you. It which helps. And so pretty much the only thing I made it in addition to was the for the people, like how they look, because so since SourceAbled is for helping those with different disabilities find jobs, something that something that I added to was transforming some of the people so that they had some obvious disabilities that you could see. So like for example, the guy in with the green pants and hat with with an amputee. And then there's also a guy to the right of him in the blue shirt that can communicate through technology. And then there's the guy next to that professor with the blue shirt. He's got a hearing aid. He's got a hearing aid on. But yeah, from this distance you can't really see it. That guy's got an eye patch, and then on the far right, that woman, I added that sometimes people have who were born with like born with like something that they or like sometimes people are can be born with where their torso isn't able to support them. So that woman's wearing a torso brace. And then let's see what else. Oh yeah, and then yeah, and so some of the people I didn't need to modify, like the guy in the orange shirt who seems to be blind, and then the people wearing glasses. So like maybe for this particular situation, it could be that like they have like vision disabilities, and then there's this guy in the wheelchair with the laptop. That guy is paralyzed. And then the woman in the orange shirt in the power chair has muscular dystrophy.
Thanks, James. Cam Pilcher.
All right, yeah, so as you can see, my suggestion is adding a little info, especially on the especially on the login and sign up pages. It's kind of like a little flavor kind of thing, but it still can really help when clarifying certain aspects of it. As you can see, they're kind of basic descriptions of what entails being that, and yeah.
Thanks, Cam. Alex.
So my only work task of prototyping is was like designing some information icons. I really like the categories what's featured, and so additionally, I was so convinced that the website did not include any information icons, and because people could be disproportionately be like very confused, and they would feel very lost. Like, it's true that I was looking at the website that I don't see any information icons that wasn't placed at the first once I started seeing that in course. But the only thing which I clearly spoke, which for the website is just the about icon, just like about, but it didn't seem like there was any type of information icons. And so,
Thanks, Alex.
Yep.
And Trinity.
Okay, so the project is called the project that I made is called eye-catching icons, and first things first, I love the color of the outlines on the original icons, blue and orange, because they're one of my favorite colors of all time. And I just love the characters that I just created. They bring lots of joy to the world, and I really love comics so much. So it looks like it's something from a comic book or something, or a comic strip or something like that.
Thanks, Trin.
Welcome.
All right, great job, Team Zach. Wonderful. Up next is my team, Team Matt. Matt.
Our team's solution. The problem we solved was making information more accessible and easier to understand for the user. The solution we came up with was added a job search bar to the navigation, added icons to navigation, added questions about interests and accommodations to the registration process. Benefits of our solution are easier to understand, helps visual learners or people who have difficulty reading, easier for the user to find where to enter information, and Rangam will receive additional insights into who the user is.
Kenzie.
We liked the layout of the homepage, but felt we could update the navigation to improve the user experience. The updated layout provides users with visual cues, such as the login icon, the icon for the contact button, and a search bar for the for jobs, since the job search wasn't so might be not obvious to people. And I was also one of the users who tested the site out when we first, and I thought the site was pretty straightforward to use, as well as the login and registration. The only thing that was a problem was when I was trying to search for jobs in the Milwaukee, I found out from Matt that that the web for SourceAbled was located in New Jersey. So I thought it would be important for the website to display New Jersey, just in case if somebody from out of the state came across this website.
Thanks, Mackenzie.
Mm-hmm.
Connor.
So as Mackenzie mentioned, we added a search bar and moved around and made some icons. So the search bar, as it was created for to allow users to jump in this case into a job search with ease, to search for the career that fits them best. And the separation of the contact icon or the contact section and the login or register section really made it easier for us users and other users to find required information and help if needed. And these icons also allow for easier navigation and understanding for visual learners, which is pretty nice.
Thanks, Connor. Cam.
Okay, so so by getting the insights into applicant interests, Rangam can identify this and suggest jobs that could be a good fit for the user. In which case, for users can select multiple interests from a predefined list. And some users even have the option to add additional interests if they are not found in the list above.
Thanks, Cam. And Spencer. Spencer, you're on mute.
Okay. Accommodations were buried in the My Account section. Since users reported that the registration was quick and easy, we suggest bringing this important section into the registration process. Users can click through the list of accommodations without feeling overwhelmed by the number of them listed. Users can get additional information by clicking on the question mark icon.
Thanks, Spencer. Great job, team. And finally, last but not least, we have Team Brittany bringing it home.
Our team solution. Our team solutions were that there were a lot of things we liked about the SourceAbled sites. One thing that I really liked about the site was the graphics. However, there are some things that we were thinking of changing. One of the things I think would be an improvement would be adding a hobbies and interests section to the pages to include a variety of jobs a person is interested in doing. The problems we had to solve was the lack of hobbies and interests, and that it was hard to search for things. The solutions we came up with was we're making a checklist and adding a search bar. The benefits of making the checklists are that it helps you remember your duties, makes the finding of your job easier and faster, and helps the employers know what their interests in. The benefits on adding a search bar are that it takes you to the specific job you want, lets you find things quickly, and helps when you can't find something. This is the checklist I made. These pages include a variety of jobs any person is interested in doing.
So my idea was to add a hobbies/interests section on your profile. This section will allow you to add interests/hobbies to your profile and will make finding jobs faster because it will allow you to find jobs relevant to your interests/hobbies faster. And to add new interests/hobbies, you can enter a description of it. And if you don't know what it is called, well, each interest/hobby is paired with an image to help you find what you are looking for. You can rearrange them so that the interests/hobbies that are most important to you have more priority.
Search bar will be easy, should be used to to find things easier. An example would be if you would be one that would show you possible results of what's been typed so far.
The thing I really like about the site is how clean it looks. And the thing I would add to the website is a search bar to find jobs.
Wow. Thank you, teams. Great job. Absolutely wonderful. If Rangam would like to give any feedback to the teams or has any questions, we'd like to open that up for you now.
First of all, you guys have made our team professional, some of the best experienced professionals rethink about each and every component of the site. So thank you for that. But my challenge is going to be, or our challenge is going to be, we will be busy for next few months looking into all these suggestions and building it and enhancing it. So thank you for increasing our work. No, guys, it's a beautiful work, and it's not, what you guys have done is really looked into some of the work done by professionals, years of experience and professionals, and we have missed a lot of things as we've been constantly building and rapidly building. So thank you for doing this amazing job. I will need some time to go through your presentation and absorb some of those changes, and then start working on implementing it. So I would really like to thank all of you. One idea, I'm just thinking loud, okay, Mark and the whole team, that as we enhance some of these things, I would like to put a small little icon, and if it's everybody is okay with that, I would like to reference who has made that suggestion, and that will stay forever on this website. I would love to do something like that. Just a quick thought came to my mind, but we will work on this thought and figure out how we can really give credit to this amazing work done by this entire team. So thank you. Larry, Tracy, Hetal, Manish, please share.
Yeah. Credit goes to you guys. Beautiful job. Love it. You are so spot on your input and feedback, and thank you for being the hard work and the way that you presented it to us. Very helpful for us as we continue to build out and make things more clear. But the images, the icons, the search, the basic things of that sometimes we forget to look at, and we're almost too close to it, like your hobbies and interests. We ask those at interview, but it's a beautiful thing to add to the when you're registering with us. So kudos to you guys. We love it. And credit goes to the beautiful teams of Team Kevin, Zach. We have Brittany and Matt. Did I get all the teams? Yes. All right. I am so excited and appreciate all of your work. Rangam appreciates it. And you know what you guys did with the graphic of our people that we were portraying with all differing abilities, and how you took it another level that, you know, we can't thank you enough for doing that for us. So thank you. Very inspirational to us and very helpful. Very helpful.
Yeah, this was amazing job, everyone. I mean, like what a tremendous effort and insight that you provided. You know, we always want to put the best product that we can out there and provide support to those that are accessing our website. And you guys just took it to a whole different level. And not only are we excited about it, but as we go and we implement many of these ideas, everyone who's going to be accessing this website from now on are going to benefit from your insight and your efforts. So, you know, on behalf of us and everyone in the future who's going to be accessing it, thank you for such, you know, high quality work here. This is outstanding. I'm just so happy watching this and seeing everybody present. It's just amazing. So personally, thank you for making my day. That was outstanding. Thank you.
And ditto, this is Hathal. I would say partner in crime of Nish. Such a pleasure for me to be able to have this opportunity to kind of experience this live. You know, it's incredible. We learned so much, and thank you for providing us with all your expert inputs and great advice. One thing that was coming to my mind as we were going through this is, can we do this for Rangam site?
Yeah. Hey, that's the next project. We would love to do that. and one another thing, I just you know, that idea on giving the credit to everyone. We would love to talk to the team and you know, your work can be incorporated in your profile or resume as you build, and we would love to, you know, make that as part of this exercise, that what you recommended and how we adopted that and we implemented that on SourceAbled project. So I have tons of ideas, but I will keep my mouth shut and continue with the agenda.
Well, thank you so much for that feedback. We like to end all of our sprints and our experiences with gratitude at Islands of Brilliance. And first and foremost, thank you to Rangam for giving us this opportunity. Not only we're so happy to hear your gratitude for the work that the participants came up with, but we are just so thankful for this opportunity. It was really a wonderful opportunity, not only to learn about user experience and about design thinking and continuing to develop our skills as designers, but our students also had an amazing opportunity to really reflect on employment and what it means to be a worker, and to explore what it means to look for a job. And so this, on many levels, was a wonderful, wonderful opportunity. So thank you to the team at Rangam. Of course, we also want to thank our mentors, Brittany, Kevin, and Zach. You guys bring so much of your heart to this experience for our teams, and your experience as professionals and how you develop our abilities to deliver this is never short of amazing and greatly appreciated. And then finally, of course, thank you to our students for giving all of your hard work and your thought to this. You delivered again and again. Thank you to the parents in our community for supporting not only our program, but our students. Thank you. Thank you so much. And that is our presentation. So thank you guys. For those of you who have not yet, the registration for our summer sprint is open. So you can go to the Eventbrite site to register for that. And that will be our development sprint with Kohl's department store. And so that will be a really cool experience. And students, don't forget, next week, Monday, is our sprint reflection, where we reflect on what we just went through this past experience. And we will have also a professional development conversation on something that you guys nailed today, which is giving a client presentation. So great job. And with that, Amy, anything else to add before we sign off?
I have nothing else to add. Everything was fabulous. Great job, students. Thank you, parents, for coming. Thank you, Rangam, for the great comments. It was really a fantastic sprint. The students, I can't tell you how into it they were. You guys were really dedicated to thinking about this site and putting your best effort in. So that was really neat to see. Thank you.
Thank you.
So
Great work,
will there be
everybody.
an exit ticket today or next week?
No exit
Huh?
ticket today. You can just pat yourself on the back and go have dinner. Nice job, everybody.
Good mentoring from
Bye.
Matt also.
All right, then.
Bye.
Awesome
On
work.
Monday.
Bye.
Bye, guys.
Bye.
Bye.
Monday.
Lish kid salutes you.
See ya.
Goodbye.